Video games were made to have fun, have a good time with your friends, ignore your partner, or just kill time. But if you find out that some of them keep strange and paranormal secrets, would you keep playing them? Or would you change your hobby? As these are always curious topics, we'll show you some of them in this top 5 real-life haunted games we dare you to play. So don't be surprised. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Polybius. If you haven't heard about this game, pay attention to the strange story. In 1991, with the rise of the gambling halls, Polybius arrived in the small suburbs of Portland. It's said this mysterious machine unconsciously had the ability to control the minds of those who spent hours playing on it. The famous game consisted in handling a ship that remained still while the screen revolved around it. The idea is to shoot as many enemies as possible, while in the background of the game we can see the graphics with bright colors, light effects, and lots of movement. Polybius was distinguished from the other games in the room by those strange colors that seemed harmless, until the side effects began to be felt in their players. Maybe the mixture of movements and colors caused chemical reactions in the brain that couldn't be explained at that time. But the inhabitants of these suburbs believed a secret branch of the government of the United States was related to this. These strange lights caused harmful reactions in the players, hearing and visual hallucinations, nightmares, dizziness, vomiting, memory loss, and unexplained epileptic seizures. There was one victim after the other in this game that became famous. After all that, it seems incredible people kept playing it, right? Many tried to stop playing, but it was too late. As if it were a spell, the game created an inexplicable addiction in its players. On the screen appeared messages that encouraged suicide, surrender, and obedience to authority. There were even those who came to hear voices and creepy mourning. But who were responsible for causing the side effects of this game? Men in Black. Legend has it, these men in black suits appeared in the rooms to control the effects of video games. Imagine a board with these bars, nightmares, vomiting, dizziness, among others, and next to it an adjustable indicator that increases or decreases its effects. Polybius came to an end when the local newspapers published the death of a player because of an epileptic seizure. Immediately, these mysterious men went to all the gambling halls to remove the machines and never appeared again. Aliens trying to control the Earth? It's one of the many hypotheses. The good thing is that if they decide to return, you're ready to beat them. Number 4. Pokemon Black. Pokemon was one of the most famous games for the Game Boy Color of Nintendo. Sure, you wanted to be a better Pokemon coach than Ash, and you competed with your friends to see who had the strangest Pokemon or the highest level. Do you remember the first generation, Blue, Green, and Red? You'll be surprised to know that in addition to Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle, there are those who had the bad luck or good luck to choose another character, Ghost. Although some people who heard this story attribute it to a Nintendo error, the truth is that playing with this Pokemon would have saved hours and hours of training against Rattatas and Pidgeots in the grass of Pallet Town to level up and beat the coach of the next town. If you're a fanatic, you know this could be very annoying. Ghost had a single attack called a Curse. The power fainted any opponent. When the player used the enigmatic curse of this invincible Pokemon, the screen of the game was completely black. The cries of the defeated Pokemon were fuzzy and the scene reappeared, but the Pokemon was gone. Weird, right? This gets even creepier. Being a kind of damned Pokemon, you can imagine not even the strongest Pokemon League coach survived the superpower. That's why you could finish the game in a matter of hours, and the best would come later. The thrill of Pokemon with an invincible streak lasted little to the owner of the strange cassette. When he finished with all his opponents, he appeared on a stage surrounded by tombs with the music of the game at a slower speed than normal. On the screen, a text that read, "Many years later," appeared and showed the image of his character against a ghost. The Pokemon killed him in the game and the screen went black until he reset it. The author of this strange story acquired the game at a garage sale and lost it shortly afterwards. Nothing else was ever known of the whereabouts of this strange cassette. If you thought you had the complete collection of the different types of Pokemon game existing, you still have one to conquer. It's your time to have a new Pokemon adventure. Would it be that Nintendo wanted to play a little prank on their fans? Or was the game really cursed? Number 3. Herobrine Minecraft. The famous construction game also enters our list of games with strange elements. The Ghost of Minecraft, or Herobrine, started as a joke written by young Europeans in a video game blog, and its appearance became a common search phenomenon among Minecraft players. We're sure the creators of this game will be grateful to those who started this rumor, as the user number increased after the strange appearance of Herobrine. If in the real world, the appearance of paranormal events produced a lot of fear, a ghost existing within a game should be even worse. Apparently, not even games are safe from these evil entities. If you're skeptical and don't believe in any of those things, it's okay. But there are many stories on the internet known as the famous creepypasta that describe the appearance of Herobrine. But what is it, or who is in charge of it? At first, many of the players who saw this strange figure thought it was a hacker who got into the game as a multiplayer. But seeing it appeared and disappeared suddenly, that version started losing credibility. It's similar to a human, but with white eyes. Many players who have seen him describe him as a dead miner. Officially, Herobrine has never existed in any official version of this game, so where did he come from? Nobody knows. This enigmatic character builds its own figures. Some say it also leaves hidden messages to players who are in the full game. When it's 3 in the morning and you're not sleepy, playing Minecraft seems tempting, right? Well, maybe it doesn't seem like much to you, but people who have seen Herobrine have taken a good scare as it appears staring at the screen with his terrifying eyes. As if seeing it wasn't enough and you want to add more adrenaline to the moment, it'll make strange noises so that you have no doubt it's there. Some versions say this miner not only builds things, but seeks to catch you and then steal all of your belongings. If you are already bored of playing Minecraft, you already have a good excuse to start again with this game and spend hours in front of your computer like in the old days. Number 2. Taboo: The Sixth Sense. Nintendo reappears in our counting of paranormal legends in video games. This is undoubtedly one of the games cataloged by people as one of the darkest that has been known since the last century. Launched in 1988, we talked about the tarot simulator Super Taboo: The Sixth Sense. The game begins with some questions any esoteric consultant would ask you in real life: your name, age, and sex, so that the cards work better and give more accurate answers to what you want to know. Similar to a tarot consultation, it starts by shuffling the cards in a rather dark background. Apparently, the creators of this game wanted to make it as real as possible. They warned they wouldn't be responsible for the answers given to the person who played it. Did they know of the existence of something paranormal in this game? Or maybe they wanted to increase the curiosity in their followers. Playing is super simple. You just have to start with a question. For example, what will my future be like? Will I get married? Or the most feared and common, when and how will I die? You can ask what you want, but you have to be prepared if the answer isn't what you want. If we go back in time and go back to the era of the 80s, all of this sounds fascinating. Some say they won the lottery with data the strange simulator gave them, but unfortunately, others didn't do so well. The creators explained it was made of algorithms with the frequent answers in this type of queries. Legend has it, this strange game predicted a 16-year-old would die run over by a truck. Coincidentally, a month later, the boy died that way. Do you think it was a coincidence, or if there is something dark in this game? On the internet, there are many stories, but the only way to know for sure is finding this game and trying it. Today, there are versions that you can download on your computer. Knowing if your girlfriend is cheating on you with your best friend or if you have a bigger fortune than Bill Gates himself doesn't sound bad, right? If you're a brave, curious person attracted to these unusual and different things, we know maybe you've already downloaded it. Number 1. Majora's Mask: The Cursed Cassette of Zelda. Do you remember the Nintendo 64? If you're a lover of video consoles, at some point you played on one of these. In this spot, we'll talk about a chilling story hiding behind the famous saga, The Legend of Zelda. If you escorted Link during his adventures to rescue Princess Zelda in the fantasy land of Hyrule, you may have heard about the Majora's Mask version published in 2000 by the same creators of this saga. Sure, you never imagined there's a cursed cassette of that Zelda version that is haunted. Among the fans of this video game, there are different versions of this popular story. The protagonist of this disturbing story is called Jadu Sabal. It all started when a friend from the university gave him a Nintendo 64. The next day, he went looking for games. In a strange garage sale, an elderly man gave him a cassette with a handwritten label saying Majora's Mask in red marker. He knew it was a version of the Legend of Zelda game. What he never imagined is that his life was about to change. The cassette had a game saved with the name Ben. As it was almost finished, he decided to create a new one called Link and start playing. Strange things started to happen. Ben's name appeared on the character, the graphics looked different, the background music sounded the other way around, and strange laughs appeared which he had never heard in another Zelda game. Although he thought it was a beta version, he decided to stop playing. Surprised? This gets better. After asking the neighbors from the house where he got the game, he discovered Ben was a boy who drowned sometime after buying that cassette. The game was cursed. The spirit reached the boy and asked him to please finish the game so that he could be set free from that nightmare. Jadu Sabal uploaded videos and writings on his blog, counting day by day what he lived until the game ended. The last thing he posted was that he would burn his computer and the cassette so that no one else could find it. The story had a lot of impact among the frequent players of this saga, and there are many videos of this strange and paranormal version of Majora's Mask. And you? Would you dare to play it? Is Ben resting in peace now? Alright, Top Fivers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant, for even more interesting list videos that'll blow your mind. But I'm warning you, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There'll be a link in the description to the channel, so make sure to come and visit us. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Oh, and have you visited thefinestpost.com to enjoy the most amazing articles you'll ever get to read?